Welcome back. How was the exercise? Were you able to figure out the append method? Let me show you what I would have done. The first thing we would want to do is to create a new node with the value. And we can do that quite easily, saying const new node. That's going to equal, well, an object with the properties that we should be familiar by now. We have value that is going to equal the value that we get as a parameter. And then the next, that will be null. So we have our new node here, and we want to attach it now after the 10 node, which is our very first node. Well, we can simply do that by saying this dot tail dot next, which is the, remember, this part over here, next equals null. So that is, what is the tail? That is the last item in our list, because this method doesn't know that we only have one item. We could have 100 items. We just want to add at the end. So it's going to grab the tail and then grab the next value of the tail. So it's going to grab the pointer of the tail and say, hey, instead of pointing it to null, point it to this new node that we just created. All right, we've pointed the tail to now point to the new node, which has next null already set up. And then we also want to say that this, what we had as tail before, which was the value of 10, is no longer the tail. We have a new last item. That is, this dot tail is now going to equal new node. And because we are running this operation after this one, when we run this, the tail.next is still this node. And as soon as we update this node to have a next of the new node, we can now update the tail to be the new node. Because by that point, by the time this line runs, the next has been updated properly for this older tail value. And then finally, we want to make sure that we add the length to equal 2 now. So we're going to do plus plus. And just for fun, because we want to make sure that we do this right, we're going to return this, which is the linked list. Remember, this just references what this class is that gets instantiated. So we're just going to say return this so that we get back our linked list. I'm going to remove the console log for now and see what happens when we just run append 5. I'm going to click run. All right, I get returned our linked list, which has a head of value 10. Next is the new node that we created, the value of 5, and next null. And then the tail is value of 5, next is null. Perfect, with a length of 2. Awesome. It looks like it's working. Let's do this one as well. Append. And there we go. We have value of 5. So the head is referencing value of 10, which points to the next node, which has value of 5, which points to next, which is an object, that is the tail. Because of the way logging works, it won't show this nested. It'll just say that this is an object. But this is pointing to tail, which has a value of 16, next null, length of 3. How cool is that? We just created our linked list, our 10, 5, 16 linked list, just like that. I hope you got that right. But if you didn't, don't get discouraged. This takes some time to get used to. Luckily for you, once you write it a couple of times, then it becomes, like I said, second nature. So don't stress out, because I have another challenge for you. Now that you know how to do append, you should be able to do prepend, right? Prepend is adding to the beginning of the list. So let's say that in our list over here, we want to add 1 as our head now, instead of 10. How would we do that with a method called prepend? This prepend is going to take a value, and we're going to be able to run a command like my linked list dot prepend 1 to add the 1 at the beginning of this list. So code here, good luck. Let's see if you can solve this one, and I'll see you in the next video where I give you the solution. Bye-bye.